Sam Pang, Nick Malloy, Andy Marr, fantastic people in the house. Huge show tonight. Titus O'Reilly continues to suffer through the travails of the demons. He's going to be joining us. And the one and only, one of the most powerful men in football, Craig Kelly, going to be joining us. Ned. Hey, he's had
and Joffa.
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, he's going to be joining us as well later on. Hey, Ned would have had to deal with a lot of things in his time in footy, particularly as a player agent, and there's been a lot of stuff going around in football. It actually has been a huge week off the field this week. But the Jaden Stevenson issue is one that a lot of people have had to sort of scramble to cover and get to a comfortable conclusion. It's reached that.
This all happened today. Take us through what happened.
Well, he's got 22-game ban. Most of you are going to know this by now. 22-game ban, 12 suspended, 10 weeks he's going to miss.
What's the fine?
20 grand. Coincidentally and luckily, he's going to be back for the first week of the finals, which is interesting the way that's played itself out.
20 grand. The good news is, though, he's only 2 legs away from being able to pay that.
And also, did you say when does the suspension finish?
Just in time for the finals.
Which is great, because I believe he's bet on himself to win the Norm Smith. So
there's good news there for
But anyway, so 10 weeks, got 10 weeks off, eh?
Yes.
Well, I wonder what a young man with lots of time and money who loves a punt's going to do for the next 10 minutes. You never thought that one through, Murray?
Well, the young fella has spoken today. This is a bit of what he had to say.
Just at the time, I made 3 silly mistakes with one of my mates, and I certainly regret doing that, and it's almost scared me off gambling altogether, to be honest with you.
Almost. If they'd given me 11 weeks and I'd missed a week of finals, OK. But almost. There it is.
There's a lot of meat on the bone in this one. It'll be interesting to see how the conversation plays out. Self-reporting is really interesting. That's allegedly what's taken place down there. Have you two...
When did he do that, Murray?
Well, this is fascinating. We don't really dive into this stuff, but round 9, we know, and the AFL knew that the transgression had been made. He played round 10, he played round 11 and he played round 12. Now, I'm not sure. There's some questions to be asked about why that was allowed to take place, why there wasn't some sort of provisional suspension put in place as soon as the self-report was in. I'm not quite sure, to be honest, but...
I love it when he goes hard.
No, it's a question. It's a question that a lot of people are asking out there, and it's one that I think...
Self-reported.
Self-reporting is interesting. Is there anything
I think, you know what, there's a time and a place for it, and it's occasionally appropriate. I would like to self-report.
Here now.
Really?
I self-report that I go off like a firecracker in the sack.
Feel better?
That feels good to get that out. It just feels now we don't have to put up this silly charade.
You've lived with that. I've lived with that
for so long.
You've lived with that alone for a long time.
Well, do you like to self-report at all?
You got anything?
I'd like to self-report. This is true that I have seen the movie Notting Hill 14 times.
Yeah, I would have kept that in.
I feel better. I feel better.
What is it you like about Notting Hill?
Just that Hugh Grant. He gets me every time.
All right.
There's been a whole lot of other massive talking points around the place. The whole relationship between the game and security and fans and crowd behaviour has been a massive...
It's a huge story.
It really has.
And we'll be dealing with it in some depth. By the way, we'd like to allay all your fears here at Front Bar that our security arrangements have not changed at all. We want you to have the best experience you can, and our behavioural awareness officers have been in place since round 40. He seems a little tense tonight.
But he's all right.
But that's it. So please don't let it ruin or destroy your Front Bar experience.
So no heightened alertness.
No heightened alertness. That's not what we're here for.
There was some images on the weekend that got people a bit upset and concerned about whether there had been a lift in the intensity. Well, have
a look at this. This is classic. Well, in the old days, they used to walk up and down the aisles asking you if you wanted a pie or a beer.
Yep.
Now they're looking at you like they're going to kick you out. 2 Carlton fans being asked to leave. I think they'd be OK with that, given it was late in the third quarter. And there it is, the protest that's going on, the silent protest that says that we should be protesting
so what's going on?
the
Over policing
of the game.
Is he doing a protest?
No, I just thought the show might be better if we...
No, that's. Can I just say something? I don't think the AFL actually went far enough.
I beg your pardon?
I don't think they went far enough. You can take that off.
What would you do?
Snipers. Hey, I'm not. No, rubber bullets. I'm not a lunatic. and arrests and then jail time.
Well, it's not lost on me that all this has happened since Gil came back from China. Join the dots.
All right, then.
There has been a lot of
Can I just tell you, this is my theory, and this is why I think it's intimidating and should be stopped, the practice of this policing. And I've got to give you my take.
Please do.
So, you know when you're out and you see a cop, and even if you haven't done anything, you feel real... That's what they're doing. So all of a sudden you go, oh, jeez, what am I doing? What have I got? Have I just knocked over a 7-Eleven? And you know how you automatically feel guilty?
No.
As soon as you see a presence... Have you ever seen a car pass a police car? No. This is my theory.
Whenever I'm going through customs, I'm a bit nervous.
But you automatically, your enjoyment of a said situation is reduced because you're going...
This sounds like a man with a very guilty conscience, if you ask me. Hey?
All right.
It's not new anyway, is it?
All right.
Hey, security's been... This heightened security thing, I mean, has it been...
It's been going around for a while. We reported this last year in Geelong. They were the ones who started it. Is this overkill?
Right.
That is... Now, I don't know what's in that centre square which needs protecting, but I think they're the single biggest employer in the Geelong region. As we speak, is that security company. 15 cars were stolen in the car park while we were
Keep an
filming
eye on
that.
that stuff. Hey, just on there was a Channel 7, by the way, caught up with a member of the Hawthorn cheer squad, and he defended himself, but it was his response to Tom Brown's follow-up question that caught my ear.
He came over and said, calm down, and I said, what are you talking about?
Has anything happened like this before?
Regularly.
That's a bit of self-reporting going on for you.
The focus has been intense on all of this, and we've obviously spoken a lot about the security at Docklands, but on Sunday down in Hobart, there was a crazy incident that took it to a whole new level.
Hey, no, it's all right. You can't come on here. Stand up. Jack, got 15 players, boys.
So the umpire says, as the two players are wrestling, you can't come on here as the arm comes out. To a security bloke who clearly doesn't understand footy protocol and what his actual job specifications
That security guy attempted to smother in the goal square. But that is, you can't say... The question's been asked all week, what's your level of training? And what level of training and what understanding of the game
that's a good point.
do you have? And clearly... No, there's not a lot going on. There's not a lot going on.
Yeah, I think when the security starts becoming eligible for Brownlow votes, I don't think that's probably taking it too far. But
a security guard, can I just say this, needs to know where and when they should be involved in the play or not in the play. Get out. Get out. Get out. The level of training.
You've got to understand the game, Mickey, and also the security, by the way. I reckon this is back in '96 at Victoria Park. If you want an example of security understanding the game, there's no better example than this. Watson scores a goal here, and have a look at this security. He understands the game. He knows what's going on. He's understanding of the game.
It's a simpler time. I wish I was there. I remember going as a kid to the footy and seeing the Blue Coats and going, that's who I want to be. That just seemed like the best job in the world.
The best seat in the house. It's a great job.
It's like they have the key to the footy.
If your career keeps going and it's the current path.
Hey, everyone's weighed in on this topic. We'll put this to bed in a minute, but we've also heard from AFL Fans Association President. He had strong words.
Do you think the AFL needs to now speak on this matter?
Look, I think... Let me just think about that. Yeah.
All right, wow.
Hey,
Wow, I've laid it down.
I'll defend that. That's something you rarely see in the world of AFL, someone thinking before they speak.
This story was, I know it's sort of gone into hyper mode this week, but Jackie Felgate last week put this on the agenda. She raised some really, really interesting issues that got a little bit washed over on Talking Footy last week.
The Richmond Cheer Squad members have reported undercover spotters who are watching the behaviour of fans, taking pictures of them, sending them to the AFL's integrity unit if they abuse the umpires.
That was a week and a half ago.
Oh, that's terrible.
Undercover spies.
Undercover spy.
And it's still going on.
What?
It's still going on. Here's how you tell them. This is a typical AFL undercover spy.
Right.
You see that guy sneaking around in the cheer squad, you know you're being watched.
Yeah. Also, they're the ones with the footy record holding up and they've got two eyes cut out for... the other one is to... So, can you spot them? That's the key.
That's right.
They're in disguise or they're trying to fit in. So I saw one on the weekend. But you just be the judge. He was in the Essendon game. There's a young kid just behind there. That's apparently called his dad, Murray. And he's just having a bit of fun. Now, see,
but who's the spy?
Who's the spy? Who's the spy? Can you put, he'd probably be in disguise. Yep, there he is there.
Mozzie.
So
Mozzie.
Why is the Essendon mascot a mosquito?
Sorry, can I
don't know.
What?
I want that guy removed.
Who?
That guy out.
Why do you want him?
Yeah.
Why?
Out. I don't know.
What's he done?
He didn't laugh at my joke. Mate, out.
Murray, if we're going to kick everyone out of the audience who doesn't laugh at Mick's joke, there'll be no one left at
Him out. Hey, I know we're just about to finish the first break.
The game's under.
We haven't done it in a while.
What?
Can I do under the pump? Because there's been
you can. Yeah, my word with that.
They love under the pump.
I love...
Who's going up?
Under the pump. Well, it's been a big week. Who do you think?
Well, there'd be Gill, there'd be Ben Stratton, there'd be AFL. Well, who's going up?
David Teague.
What?
Under the pump. Terrible loss for Carlton. Gone.
What are you putting in? He's coached two games. He's had a great win in one of them. He nearly...
that's all, by the way. That's all.
Just
David Teague.
You're done.
Oh, by the way, you were very close to going...
You're out of line.
You're very close to going on that board. Can I show you a bit of footage, please?
Me?
We went to the footy as guests of CUB. We were behind the glass the other night. And you, at the end, after late in the quarter, got a little overexcited. For someone who's a professional and has worked in this game for a long time, please watch carefully the following footage.
The greatest comeback in the history of football,
Yeah, fair enough. Can I say, luckily there was a stupid comments awareness officer close by who came in and escorted him from the ground.
You've been gagged.
You're going to throw to the break.
I'll throw to the break. What? Yeah, not as hard as you make it look every week. Stick around, more front bar after this. Titus O'Reilly coming up here this afternoon.
One of the greats.
Love the
Welcome
rainbow.
back to the show.
Ripping. Jazz on Sundays.
Yeah.
They do jazz on Sundays.
Many.
Really good.
Great logic. We love your contribution, Sam. We always say this every single week on one of our many social media platforms. Get involved in the show.
Yes, and like Mick said a couple of weeks ago, just if you've got anything, Google it in.
And why aren't we on Snapchat? Let's go on Snapchat.
I don't think you should be on Snapchat.
Take
it from me.
So big has the news of the week been that we didn't even get to Ben Stratton and his couple of stories in the first segment. He's got a week for stomping Sean McKernan, and of course there's the stomping one coming up here. And then the week for the multiple pinches on Orazio Fantasia. So the Hawthorn skipper's going to miss a couple of weeks for his indiscretions. What did you make of, particularly the pinching, boys? There it is there. What did you make of that?
Well,
he apologised. That's the main thing. He apologised and he said he won't do it again on a Friday night when there's so many cameras around. And I think that's a good
But yeah, I
thing.
mean, there's many tactics, sort of gamesmanship, isn't there? You know.
Are you a pincher? Was the orchid a pincher?
No, I wasn't.
What was your go-to? How did you when you tried to get when you tried to get one over an opponent?
What was your dirty tactic?
Yeah, what did you do?
I used to run to the bench and never come back on.
What do you think? I mean, you would have.
Can I say something? What's good for the goose, good for the gander. Pitch. I'm into it. I think whatever happens on the field, good on you. You can get away
up for a bit of a
with
sneaky tactic.
Mate, that's it. You know, two tribes go to war, whackety. Hey, and by the way, this is nothing
What you just
new.
said, what you said made no sense at all. Just pointing out.
This has been going on forever. Sneaky tactics to
true.
get an advantage over your opponent. I'll take you back to the great Ted Whitten. Look at this. Mud in the face. That's a legitimate tactic. Have a look at this. The whale. Bang.
Roberts, yeah.
Right in the goalies.
Yeah, Tony Moore.
That's a bloke. I have no problem with this. There we go. Headbutt. Bang. Right in the bread basket. And here's a good one. Whee!
Do you think this is the sneakiest of all, though, isn't it? Look at that.
Whee!
So,
and can I point out, not one free kick was awarded for any of those instances.
It's a very good point. It has been going for a while.
Play on, I say.
Dustin Fletcher got done for diving in that last one.
We focused on
He was testing his skin folds. He's going, hello, how's your Mr. Fairfax?
Is that right?
Skin folds.
How yours going?
Hey.
Where's
our behavioural awareness officer? Did you see that?
I saw it.
Hey, we've focused on too many of the negative stories. There's been a lot of positive out of the footy last week. And one of the great moments was he saved his best till last year. He had a fantastic duel with young Sydney Stack. Your blokes are very brave, by the way, Nicky, and he saved his best for last. And they had this fantastic moment where they came together, the show of absolute respect for one another. The young fella up against the old champion. Where does he sit now? In terms of the greatest, genuine, legitimate small forwards of all time, have you got one better than Eddie Betts?
Where does Eddie Betts rank as in the small forwards
of all time?
11. There you go. It's official. It's official.
You don't even. Can you at least try to be interested in, like these great footy conversations every now and again?
Hold on. Where do you rank him, mate? Go on, where?
Well, he's one or two, isn't he? It's either him or probably him or Steve.
Hard to say. Who knows how official any of these rankings are? But I tell you what. Tex Walker, he's captain.
Yes.
Taylor.
Well, he'd know.
He was asked where Eddie sits, the very topic you're talking about. He was asked where Eddie sits in the pantheon of small forwards, and his praise for Eddie was unconditional. Well, almost.
When you see him go through, what do you actually think?
I don't know. Oh, it's just such a talent, and I'm going to look back in 20 years when I've got kids, I'm going to be able to tell them that I played with, I reckon, the best small forward, apart from Stephen Milne.
Wow. That's almost passive aggressive. You don't need to. You just say he was one of the greats.
That's it. And Eddie Betts will be able to say he played under the 19th best captain for the Adelaide Crows.
One of our great mates has been joining us regularly on the show, generally bemoaning the fall of the Melbourne Football Club empire, much to his chagrin, and he does it again. We go anywhere. One of the most powerful men, Collingwood Premiership player, to join us here. Craig Kelly to join us. Welcome back to the show.
A sponsorship deal with Saab Australia has leading player managers Ricky Nixon and Craig Kelly overheating. The company has provided Kelly's Pro Squad with new cars free of charge, and the boys wasted no time testing out their machines. Nixon's Club 10 group also has a deal with Saab. However, Nixon claims he'll now be selling theirs because the company has insulted his players by dealing with lesser lights.
Welcome back to the show. Craig Kelly, our special guest. Unless you lived through that, you don't realise how big a story that was at the time.
How did the Saab deal end up for your mob pro squad? I don't think that ended in tears.
No, we were good for about 8-9 months.
And what happened?
Until silly Kernahan,
Stephen
went out and had finished the season. They got kicked out of the finals. Decided to sort of sleep in the car for a few days, and then I get a phone call, and he goes, "Could you come and pick this car up?" And I went there, and it was full of McDonald's and food, and he'd literally been eating McDonald's just in and out of the car. And they said, "Deal's off." So I had to ring all the other players. And Sticks has just stuffed the deal up for us. So
Sticks has sunk the Saab
They
deal.
used to call us the flog squad.
Yeah,
the Club 10 boys used to say, "Oh, here comes the flog squad."
So, because Ricky Nixon was the first, wasn't he?
Yeah,
so,
Ricky,
of the modern era, Ricky Nixon started.
And who did he have, Greg?
He had the pick of the.
He had everyone. And you had the rest.
That's a good uniform. That looks good.
Nah, that's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Good uniform if you work in a hardware shop.
What was going on? Tell me, for those who don't know, what was going on at the time?
So Club 10, and rightly so.
This was the start of the modern era.
And Ricky saw that the players were being exploited and took it to the AFL and said, enough's enough.
Yeah.
And he started his own group, which was seriously the best
No,
part.
they were
had
great.
Ablett, Carey, Richo, had them all.
Yeah.
And Lyon and all those guys. And then the AFL said, well, we'll start this other group just to protect us so we can use some players for some appearances and stuff. And so somehow, through, I know, Graham Allen, Ross Oakley and the lovely Jeff Brown somehow convinced the AFL that it'd be a good idea for me to do it.
Yeah,
and I was still playing footy.
I was
absolutely in the middle of it. And they handed me the keys and off I went. We gave Ansett flights. We did everything to try and get our boys online.
While you were playing, sorry, Mickey, did you realise that there was managing was in the future, or that player appearances was something that you go, wow, there's something you're interesting there?
After 90, it became clear, because I was working in the marketing department in Collingwood and keep getting these phone calls for players, and I'd get appearances or clothing and stuff like that, and I'd go, yeah, we can get that player, and I'd say, how much would it charge? So $200, and I'd take a clip, and away we went. I might have got asked on several occasions if, would Dakes be available to do something? And I'd say, yeah, I'll just check. So I'd hang up and wait for 10 minutes. No, he's not available, but I can do it.
So you were cutting Dakes' lunch.
But Dakes actually got onto it and he set me up.
That's how you get ahead, kids.
What did Dakes do?
Well, he set it up. He got one of his mates to call about a suit deal, which was a good deal. It was like $10,000 worth of suits. And I said, I'll check, hung up, did the old one, but I'll be available. Sort of strutted into training that night and Dakes bails me up and said, I got my mate to ring and you've been ripping me off.
Sorry, just to point out, that's a premiership teammate of yours.
Handy player.
Hey, Ned, we have segments on this show we love and we have fresh from the archives.
Here we go, back to 1993, and in particular, the men of the AFL calendar, which I believe you may have put together. Talk us through this particular edition. Let's have a look.
15 teams means 15 months of footy pin-up boys. North Melbourne's Anthony Rock received the most attention, revealing more than just his favourite cartoon character. Cover boy Collingwood's Craig Kelly was feeling a bit self-conscious about the size of his rubber ducky.
OK, freeze.
Right, where do you want to start?
OK, we've got a bit to unpack here. Firstly, why do you have your watch on? Secondly, what is that on your shoulder?
Crocodile.
It's a crocodile. Why? Is it pinching you?
I don't know.
Is it
a dinosaur?
Is it a pinch joke? A dinosaur?
Why is there a crocodile?
Mickey, you've got to feel for that duck, though.
It's a big duck.
Is that duck oversized?
What's the blue thing?
I don't know what the blue thing was. I had to fly all the way to Sydney to do the photo shoot with. The guy who took it was the guy who used to take Elle McPherson's bikini shots, and he told me that, and I thought, this is all right. And I ended up in a bath looking like that, so...
Was that the cover?
Yeah, no, I think it was a few pages in, so...
Craig Kelly, Elle McPherson. Yeah.
Oh, have a look at
you. Something about glass houses.
Craig, did you have a manager?
Yeah, Jeff Motley did my first couple of deals. Yeah.
I'm curious that I'm surprised that you say you had a manager, because I would have thought that if you had a manager that you listened to, he would have advised you not to do this ad.
The national monthly magazine that all the players that can read do read. Football Australia. Get at the ground, get at the club, get at the newsagent, just get it.
Why are you so angry?
Now that delivery may work if you were selling furniture or something. Why are you yelling at the people?
It took me about 20 takes to even get that out. It was horrendous.
They're very angry.
I was the editor of that magazine.
Well, there's a massive surprise. What was the magazine?
Football Australia.
How long did it last?
A couple of years.
Yeah.
Okay, if you tell me inside there's a picture of you in a bath, I'm going to lose it.
Hey, everybody wants to know, and I know he's a mate of yours, but you're a great. I know you're desperate to ask.
Just get to the point.
Craig Kelly, when are you going to become president of Collingwood?
What are you doing?
I didn't think we do that stuff on this show.
No, because the managing thing, that's your style as a manager has been described as asleep at the wheel, right? That will pass, and you may look for other things to do.
Move on.
Will there be a changing of the guard? Will it happen? Is it something that you covet? Is it something down the track that you see?
At some stage, I'd love to give back to the club that gave me so much.
When?
Well, that's
Here we go.
I'm interpreting that as a direct threat to Eddie McLaughlin.
So you're saying Eddie's been there too long?
You're saying his best years are behind him.
Let's have a drink.
So down the track, when you've got so many things going on in your life right now, and obviously I'm guessing you couldn't run your business hand.
I've got two boys, one of them playing at Collingwood, so it'd be the wrong time, I would have thought.
Clearly he hasn't got the numbers. That's what I'm reading. You haven't got the numbers.
Just say you're not going to become president of Collingwood because your boys there. What a massive conflict of interest, considering you manage all the coaches.
Seven coaches he manages, and it could be done.
All right, if you don't get so, it seems you're going to stay with your little business for a little while. Then you'll become president. You're not going back to coaching, because I thought
coaching.
I tell you, I like coaching. Yeah. Did you like coaching?
I did all right at coaching.
Do you think you're good at it?
We won a premiership at Mansfield.
Absolutely.
And Glen Iris Gladiators won them.
Could you fire them up at Mansfield? Do you think you got?
I know what you idiots.
Let's have a look at some of you coaching at Mansfield and the way you fired the boys up.
Get around here. Come on, inside. Man, Scotty, come on, mate. Come on. You know what? The oldest prick on the ground is the only one that's showing us how to do things. Don't believe that in this book and get into it. Come on. Young blokes, you want to play football? You want to play football? You lay your body on the line and you attack the ball, then you get up and you find the next man. Have a crack.
I like it. Have you got a flag?
We've got a flag that year. The Mansfield Footy Club, one of the great Goulburn Valley teams and one of the great group of blokes. I love the joint.
I could defend you there, because, you're talking to grown men. Sometimes you've got to do what you have to do, right?
Yes.
I would assume when you're, say, coaching in the under-12s at Glen Ira, that you would possibly soften your tone for the kids.
Did you tone it down a bit?
I thought I did.
Yeah, well, let's everyone judge if you toned it down for the kids. Are you coaching the under-12s?
Down the line. No.
They're children that they need to toughen up a bit. The whole joint's got too soft. We've got to just...
I like it. Hey, mate, thanks for coming in. We could speak to you all night. There's so much to talk about.
You come back?
I'll be back.
Can I ask, do you still manage Gary Lyon?
Well, I'm
after Gary Lyon.
Yeah, I do. And
you
he's
do?
one of the great men who came across from Ricky to us and actually got our business going. And he's asked me to come in tonight and do a bit of a recce to make sure this joint goes okay before he even thinks about coming in.
Because he needs to come on. We've been trying to get him on. If you're any good as a manager, you'll tell him, if he knows what's good for him, he will come on this program.
You have to threaten him.
Yes, I like threatening people. Now, are you aware of a little show called AFL Squadron?
Yes, I am.
Which Gary hosted back in the day. Clearly he didn't have good management in those days. Well, he looks like a bit of an idiot on it, and so do some of the guests, which includes you. I'm going to show you one of my favourite bits from AFL Squadron.
Big welcome this morning to our 3 contestants, all from Tottenham North Primary School, and they are Michael O'Toole, High Toe and Alfred Parr. Guys, 3 handballs with your preferred hand. The object is, of course, to beat our champ, who is Craig Kelly. Not a bad kick, pretty ordinary handballer, so I think it was a big show here. Ooh, starts out with a 10, proves me wrong.
It's quality
What
television.
do you do?
Quality television.
They're just little kids. They probably never played again. And I believe each of those kids later complained of being pinched on the... Oh, you don't do it! Gary, get on the programme.
Have a word to
What we need, though, is see some of the vision of you two when you were first starting out. And then
how dare you.
When you were skinny... Oh, that actually probably never been the case. But,
You just saw some footage of me. I formerly used to be known as a kid called High Toe.
Great. Thanks for coming on the show, mate. It's been an absolute joy. Craig Kelly, our special guest. Great to have him on the show. Don't go anywhere. Nick's Multi on the other side of the break.
Well done, mate.
Welcome back to the show. Great to have you with us. Thanks to the Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft. One more week of bye footy before the ladder starts to make a whole lot of sense. We can't wait for that to be the case. There's some good footy to look forward to in round 14. Starts tomorrow night, of course. Can Essendon find their very, very best against the Super West Coast Eagles? No Jakey Stringer in that. Sydney Swans Hall. There's some really good games of footy to look forward to throughout round 14. So stay tuned.
A new addition to the show the last few weeks has been we've just been showing the ins and outs. We've quickly been putting them across the screen so that people can have a look if you want to know who's ins and out. And but we don't want to do anything at the desk that distracts you. Okay. So in the past I've just asked you a question.
Yeah, great.
You've answered it. Yep. No one's cared, and they've been able to see who's the ins and outs. Yeah, sure. So let's just do it this way. It's only split round, so it won't take too long.
Sure, mate.
Charlie Curnow, Andy. Yes. Wow, what a performance! Where do you think he sits in the greats of Carlton?
Look, untapped. This kid. Once he works it out, he could be destined for super heights. Charlie Curnow. He is a real talent. Athletic, can take a mark. He's brave. He's just
put that on. Wear that, and we'll be... You saw them, we're done. Next multi.
How'd that go? Is that good? Yeah.
Amazingly, that went worse in rehearsal.
Hey guys, this is fantastic. I'm super excited about the multi tonight.
Are you?
I've said this before, but I mean it tonight. Cannot lose.
Yeah, well...
If you're partial to a bet, whoever you are, have a go and get on the multi, is what I'm saying. And go hard. There's no point going if you leave anything in the locker room.
Yeah, there is.
Hock your box, sell the house, get the whole lot onto this. Cannot lose. First leg. Listen to this. Lock it in. Check out this fan down in Tassie supporting Ben Brown as he lines up for goal. Now have a look. In the background, there you see, finger out. As you know, Ben Brown's got a long run-up. It takes a while to get back in. He's probably given up by now, I would imagine, and no. I would like to wager that guy is actually the behavioural awareness officer in Tasmania. Yes? Can I have it?
No, you can't. But how about you take David Warner to be Australia's top run scorer against Bangladesh, and I'll give you 330.
Bang, I'll take it. Right. Watch out for Bangladesh. They are smokies. All right.
They are.
They are. They're good to go. Trust me on this one. OK, second leg. It was announced recently that the AFL is opening a kitchen and bar at the airport. There it is, near the Virgin Lounge. So it's AFL bar and kitchen. I'd like to wager that Jetstar are opening an AFL X bar. No. All right. Well, I'd like to. All right. Like it?
No.
Hey, you.
Oh, you piped up. I'd like to wager then that
which one?
That Brad Scott and Brendan Bolton will be working in that bar.
Maybe they will.
No,
you can't.
Okay, can I have this? I'm going again.
Okay, right.
Again, leaving nothing in the locker room. I'd like to wager that food served at the airport bar that used to be served at the footy could be the most expensive pie ever served. Mickey.
Can't have it. You can't have it, but how about you take the Pies at the line, 22.5 to beat the Dogs, and I'll give you $1.90. What do you reckon?
I like it. Have a look at this Pakistan cricket fan arriving at the World Cup game earlier this week. Look, I'm all for fan engagement, but to me, that's too much. I'd like to wager that anyone who turns up at anything official on a horse is a giant dickhead. I see what you've done there. Very.
You can't have. But you did that. Hey, you say I don't contribute.
You can't have any of that, whatever it was. But how about you take Invincible Army to win the Diamond Jubilee Stakes, and I'll give you $3.75.
Bit short, but I'll take it. All right, let's boot this baby home. OK, when opening a ferret's cage, you should proceed with caution. Have a look at the ferret. Bang! There it is. I would like to wager that ferret is owned by Ben Stratton. Yes.
Oh, I don't think so. But how about you take Queensland to win Game 2 of the Origin by 1-12, and I'll give you $3.
Well, that's not going to get up. New South Wales will romp that.
No, I don't think they will.
Don't get on it. No, get on it. $70. Hello, juicy.
All right, $70. There you go. To get on Mixed Multi, jump on the Sportsbet app, look for Mixed Multi in the Megabets section of the app. And please, folks, gamble responsibly.
Have a go.
Don't go anywhere.
Have a go.
Last shout. Last shout. To the show, we're here for the Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft. We wanted to make a point, didn't we, in the last shout this week to celebrate fans. We are fans. The game's nothing without them, and their rights need to be protected. We need to be respectful, all the rest of it. So we thought we'd get somebody on who is very much a face of one of the great fan groups in the AFL. Please make him welcome, a face and a person well known to everybody, Mr. Joffa Korpe, everybody.
Welcome aboard, Joffa.
Thank you for having me.
You wrote a very good article in The Age during the week, which I think it doesn't matter what club you are a supporter of, you felt he was speaking on your behalf. It was a passionate plea for the guys on the terraces. Do you feel like you've been heard by the AFL? Do you think the fans have been heard over the last couple of weeks?
I think we've been heard now. I think the message has gone through now, but I think what's really... The last week, we've seen something that we may never see again, and that was 18 tribes coming together as one with a very loud voice and one clear message. Just leave us alone.
Yep.
Joff, are you comfortable that you reckon that the supporters you know so very well and spend so much time with, do you think that they truly behave appropriately?
Look, the terraces self-regulate. We know that. We don't support idiots who participate in violence and all that other ugly stuff.
All the other rubbish. Yep.
It regulates itself. If someone's being annoying, sit down, mate, shut up, don't embarrass us. But get up, be passionate, stand, scream, shout, do whatever.
Yeah.
And get behind your team.
I imagine the difference between the grand final crowd and the preliminary final crowds, which are full of fans and two tribes, and to me, the passion on that day is like no other in the course. We can't go without them. You said, quite famously now, that you would not go back to the footy until you got an apology from Gill.
Yes.
Do you feel he's done that?
Well, I think, in fairness to Gill, he apologised to the Herald Sun on the Thursday.
Yep.
On the Friday...
Good on him.
Yep. On the Friday, he acknowledged that there was problems within the terraces and with the security at these venues, and I thought he, as a leader...
He stood up.
Absolutely, and that's what good leaders do.
That's interesting you say that, because privately you told me that it was time to go for Gill.
So you'll be going to the football this weekend? You feel you said you wouldn't go till you got your apology, and you're happy
Absolutely.
now?
We're all, not just me, but I was on behalf of all the other supporters across Australia.
Okay, that's enough now. Quick, get in here. So I'm going to ask you now.
I was only trying to tell you.
Behavioural awareness officer. Closer. You get out of here, Chopper. Flush out, Chopper. To all the fans.
To the fans. Just don't act like a lunatic and enjoy your footy and everything will be okay. That's it. We are done and dusted. Thanks to Joff for coming in.
Who's on
Thanks
next
to
week?
Titus. Thanks to Craig Kelly. Thanks to everyone coming in. Robert, one more Wednesday show, one more Thursday game. How good's this going to be? Robert Harvey to join us on the show next week. We'll see you then, folks. Bye for now.